Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Shakina Shanae here. Welcome to any new people and welcome back to if you've already been here. Hi, how are you? I also hope you guys can see me. Like I hope my camera is high enough because again it's on as like a makeshift type level of boxes and a lotion. Because my tripod just wasn't sitting here. But yeah, as you can tell by this video, I'm doing pros and cons of knotless box braids. And I've tried to film this video over the weekend, but the weather wasn't allowing me, so we're doing it on this Monday morning. That's also gloomy, but just a little bit more bright. But as you can see, I took out my hair. Like I have no more knotless box braids in at all. But I still wanted to film this pros and cons video for you guys. I also hope my glasses aren't causing the glare because they're blue light glasses and I was doing a little bit of work before I started this video and a little bit of editing. But yeah, I was doing everything. But I'm gonna say this at the beginning of the video, but if I say it at the end too, I'm sorry. But I wanted to start saying this at the beginning of the video, which is please subscribe to my channel, you guys. I've noticed that a lot of you watch, but you guys don't subscribe. So I'm gonna switch it up and I'm gonna just say it at the beginning to just remind you. So please subscribe to this video, you guys. But without further ado, let's jump into these pros and cons. So we're gonna start off with the pros, and if I keep looking down, I just wrote notes down so I wouldn't forget what we're talking about. So my first pro, the knotless box braids were really weightless. I thought like when I did regular box braids it was pretty weightless, but the knotless ones were really like lightweight and everything. And I really liked it and enjoyed that about them, which leads me to the next thing about they were really easy to sleep with. They didn't hurt. It didn't feel bulky or weird on my head at all. Also, I noticed that now that I'm talking about, but I didn't write it on my list, I noticed that there was less tension. My edges are very sensitive, meaning that it gets really sore, like, and just really sore around my edges. So they're very sensitive, but I noticed there wasn't tension with the knotless box braids. That could be because you're starting off braiding your regular hair then adding in the extension hair, but I've really enjoyed that about the knotless box braids. Also, it was kind of easy to me, just a little bit, and I only say that with once you get a technique down, starts to the routine of it, you get in the groove of it, and it becomes very easy. I would say like after my first 4 braids, I got into like a routine of doing the braids. I knew like how thin or thick to make each feet-in braid and where to start it at and how much of my hair to braid, much of my real hair to braid, then add it in. So it definitely is a trial and error thing, and I would definitely say you need to like really be hands-on with it to really know what works best for you, because this would be my second time trying it and trying knotless braids. The first time I tried it was like a while ago. I think it's like in the summer, like way before the summer, like maybe spring. I tried it, it didn't work out, so I just did regular box braids. But this time, like, it worked out really well. I took my time. Again, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, like I'm pretty sure a lot of you have done if you've ever attempted knotless box braids or just interested in the technique. But like it turned out really good, and I'm happy like I really stuck with it and kept giving it a try because I really loved the end result of the box braids. If you guys didn't know, I had like what I would call large box braids, medium to larger side of the box braids, and I really liked that size of braid, and it was perfect for me. Not too many braids, not too few braids, but I do want to try like chunkier braids in the future of knotless braids. So that's in the future that I really would like to try that, and I have like a lot of leftover hair, so stay tuned for a video if I do decide to do a video, if I think I'm that good. Let's see, next on my list, it was very realistic looking. meaning it looked like if I did it right, or to myself anyway, it was like coming out of my scalp completely. Like it looked like it could have been my hair, even though it obviously wasn't. But it was super realistic, and I like that. I like that a lot. And I was really surprised. I was like, when I was done, I looked in the mirror. I was like, ooh, oh, this looks good. I like this. And it looked really good. I didn't think it was gonna look that great. I mean, I've seen other people do it, and it looked absolutely amazing. But you know, when you attempt a new idea on yourself, it's like, oh, it might not turn out that good, or how you expect it to turn out. But it turned out really good, and I really liked it. Which leads me to my next thing about styles. I felt like when I styled my hair, whether it was up, down, like half up, half down, to the side, or just the middle part, like it looked really good too. And I didn't have to necessarily like slick my edges down, because I don't do that often, so I'm happy I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to like do any extraness to it. It just looked really good. It was easy to style. It didn't look crazy putting up in a ponytail. You know, like after your hair has been in for a while and it starts to look crazy once you put it up in a ponytail, you just don't like the look no more. It still looked really good, even though I was about to have to refresh it soon. Like it looked good. The styling was pretty easy. It still wasn't any tension or pulling when I styled it. Like if I were to put my hair up in a ponytail, like the top part up, half down. Oh, excuse me, I'm talking so fast I'm getting tongue tied. But it didn't feel like it was pulling. It didn't hurt. None of that. To where when I have like regular box braid, it just feels like sometimes it's pulling or it's too tight. It didn't feel like that at all. It felt really good. It was very easy to style. I was able to do a lot of styles with it, and I wore my hair in like a middle part for a good amount of time. And if you know me, you know I love my side parts, especially when I do like anything like braids or twists or anything like that. I love side parts, but the middle part was giving me life. Like I really enjoyed the middle part, and I really liked it. Lastly, for my pro is time. I feel like it probably took the same amount of time as when I do my regular box braids. That's why it's a pro for me. Maybe even a little less. Like it seemed like it took no time at all. Before I knew it, I was done. Just very chill type of, I wasn't frustrated through it. Like it just seemed like I started and then I was done. And regardless when I start my braids, because whenever I do like a protective style, I start it in the morning, especially if I know it's going to take me some time. But I feel like it still didn't take me forever to do my hair. When I do any other protective style in terms of like braids, like regular box braids or twists, I feel like it could take me from the start of my day, which on a good day I'll start at like 9-10 o'clock in the morning, all the way to like maybe it's about to me ready for me to go to bed at night. But it didn't take that long at all, and that was a pro for me, because lately, or just in general for a while now, I'm not into styles that's going to take me about 100 years and a half to do. That's just not it. I don't have the time for that. Even if I did have time for that, I don't think I wanted to be spending doing like braids forever. The older I get, I'm just like, I like protective styles and I don't want them to take forever. Where if you did when I was younger and I did my hair, I don't mind pulling all night to do my hair. But obviously I have a lot of hair to do, so. But I'm happy that it didn't take a long time to do the knotless box braids, in my opinion. Just for me, it didn't take too long. And it didn't take too long given that I have like a lot of hair. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. So let's get into not the pros, we just did the pros, the cons. The cons would have to be longevity. They look amazing when you first do them. They look absolutely amazing and I love them. They're easy for me to style. But how long they last, how long they last was, didn't last too long. It lasts about like with my hair looking good, edges looking fine. Didn't look like craziness happening up there. It lasted a good solid 2 weeks without me having to do anything to it, just keeping it tied up in a way. Yeah, so I had to refresh on week 3. So at the beginning of week 3, I had to refresh, and that's what I did. Like, I refreshed the front, like the whole like front half of my head. I just refreshed it, and it was perfect. So given how long you want to keep the knotless braids in, keep in mind that you're gonna have to refresh it after a good 2, maybe even 3, pushing it for me, weeks of wear. And that's for someone who lives a moderately active lifestyle. Like, I work out every single day, on average, given like we're all in the house in general. I'm out the house at least 2 to 3 times a week. But I do like a lot of around the house stuff. So with that, and like protecting your hair when you like do work out or do intensity movements, like keeping it tied up, moisturizing, all that, it lasted me a good 2 to 3 weeks before I had to refresh the perimeter front of my head, and whatnot. And then I kept my hair in until the beginning of week 4, and then I took it out because I knew when I put the braids in, I just wanted a protective style for a good 3 weeks of the month, and then I was going to take it out the last week of October, and that works for me. So if you're going for that, that works. Like a short period of time, it will last you. But if you're thinking about 4 months, whoa, if you're thinking about 4 weeks plus, you're gonna have to refresh at least 1 or 2 times doing these knotless braids. Just keep that in mind if you're gonna do that. But I definitely think you guys should try it. I tried it. I really like it. Definitely try it. Another thing I would say is a con is the length. You guys know my hair is long, and because my hair is long, I felt like I had to add in the braids like later on, so that when I got to that last the end of the last feeding braid, my hair, it would have been past my actual length of my hair. So later on when I go to take it out and I cut the bottom off, I won't be cutting my hair, if that makes any sense at all. Or in general, I needed all my hair to be tucked away, and some pieces were coming up. Oh, my hair is just as long as the braid. So I had to like figure out how to work around that. And I had like, I think the hair I used was about, it was pre-stretched, and it was about 26 or 30 inch pre-stretched braiding hair. I think it was 30 pre-stretched braiding hair. For the most part, like, it was perfect. It worked out for me. But keep in mind, if you have super long hair that is just as long as the braiding hair, it might be a little bit of a struggle to tuck and protect all your hair as you get to the end. Even if you're doing like freshly, especially if you do it on blown out hair, you're definitely gonna have to have a struggle like protecting all of your hair down to the end, and being very mindful of when you go to take your hair out not to cut your real hair. If you're doing a freshly washed hair and like moisturized and air dried, and it like shrinks, you might get away with that. But I did that and my hair was still just as long. My hair was long, so it was just as long, a little bit shorter than the hair as I was feeding it in. So I had to like be mindful of the end technique, put it like that, of how I was doing my hair. Or when I was taking it out, just be mindful, remember where to cut, or cut a little bit longer than you normally would. But with that said, as far as I come up, those are the 2 cons for me. But with that said, I really enjoyed, sorry, I was getting text messages. I really enjoyed the knotless box braids, and I definitely will be revisiting it in the future. Don't know when, because I kind of miss my hair, and this wash and go turned out really well. It's just a aside, but yeah. But I definitely will be revisiting in the future, and I hope you guys definitely will try it yourself. And if I remember, I will try to insert a picture in this video of my hair If I remember, hopefully I don't forget. If I rewatch the video, I won't forget. But I'll definitely try to insert a picture or two of what my hair looked like while I was in the knotless braid so you guys can see. But without further ado, that is it for this video, you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, you guys.